Welcome back, guys. I set up this grid and I think it's going to be fairly challenging, but let's see. We need somebody that's been in another company, so TNA, WCW, any other company, and not just like an appearance. It must have been in the other company, a faction member, and down here, Attitude Era wrestler, world champion, any world champion in WWE, and IC champion. So let's get it. If I get to 5 minutes, I'll skip to the second filter, or the double filter at least. Chris Jericho. Okay, he's been in another company. That's very easy. Now I can slot him in Attitude Era, World Champion, or IC. So I'm going to go with other company and Attitude. I think that's a cool spot for Jericho, other company, and Attitude Era. And again, I never said I can't use the same wrestler again. So if Jericho lands again, I can use him again. Randy Orton. Okay, he's been in a faction. Was an Attitude Era. He's been World Champion and he's been IC Champion. Let's go faction and world champion for Orton. I think that's a perfect spot for him. I'm actually doing really well. 2 out of 2 so far. I thought this one was going to be challenging. Okay, Dusty. He was in another company, but he was not world champion. And like I said, this is for WWE, so it must have been world champion in WWE. He was not. He was not IC champion. And that's the only spots I can really fit him, because obviously, yeah, that's only spots that's left. Okay. Well, not the only spots that's left, but you know what I mean. Okay, next we've got Dragon. He's been IC champion, and obviously Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He was in can't think of the name now. WCW. Wow, my morning brain is broken, but he fits into that spot perfectly. IC champion and other company. There we go. Just finishing writing his name. Perfect. And I still need 4 spots and I'm doing really well. Bruno, he was world champion. Okay, I don't know I can't speak of the history of like the territories and all of that. I don't know it well enough. From what I know, Bruno was a WWWF, or how many ever W's there was, WWWF guys. I don't know, he was in another company, and honestly, you can correct me if you want. I'm just going to ignore it. I really don't know the territories that well. Okay, The Rock was not in another company. No, Hollywood doesn't count as another company. He was a faction member. He was Attitude Era, yes, and he was IC champion. Let's go faction member and Attitude Era for Rock. Perfect. So now I need somebody that's been in another company and world champion in WWE, and somebody that's been a faction member and IC champion. Dusty Rhodes, I've already had him, and he already didn't fit any of those spots, so I don't think he's going to fit those spots right now. Yoko, he was world champion, but from what I know, okay, I guess the Great Coquina was in other companies. You know what? I'm not going to count it. I'm just not. I just don't want to. And or was it the Great Coquina, or was it? There was some. His name was. I don't know. There we go. World champion. Other companies. Clearly been in another company, and he's been world champion. So Henry can go in at that spot. So I don't have bias regret immediately from not putting Yoko in there. He had another name as well, Maxilla or something like that. Okay, IC champion, faction member. MVP, from what I remember, he was not IC champion, he was US champion. He was on SmackDown at the time when he was champion, and SmackDown had the US championship at the time, like mid-2000s. What's the chance of getting him twice in a row? Okay, so I need a faction member and an IC champion. So pretty much just spin for IC champions. Piper, was he in a faction? Not in WWE, at least, not that I can recall. And this faction must have been a WWE faction at least. He was, of course, IC champion. Next, we've got The Miz. He was IC champion, and he was in a faction at one point. So there we go. Miz rounds out this one for us today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, peace.